students, today we are going to learn types of tides. So as the timing of the tide varies every day, the range of a tide also keeps on changing. The highest high tide occurs on full moon and new moon days, whereas on the days of first and third quarter. Okay, children. So now just imagine we have learned about the full moon occurrence of full moon and new moon day and first and third quarter. We have learned phases of the moon in our second chapter. So now here children, on the days of first and third quarter, the high tide is at its minimum. Okay, the high tide will be at its minimum. There are two types of tides: spring tides and neap tides. Okay, now moving ahead, we are going to learn first about spring tide. Now what is spring tide, children? We will see in detail. Okay, so now on a new moon and full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon act in the same direction. So now children, we have studied about the position, about the position of the sun, moon and earth during the full moon and new moon day. They lie in the same straight line and in the same path. Okay, so what happens because of this? On new moon day and full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon act in the same direction. See here children, here in this picture you can see clearly. See, they are what? They are in the same direction only. So now children, what happens? This region of earth is going to experience high tide, and the region opposite to it is also going to experience the high tide, whereas these two regions are going to experience low tide. Okay children, so now what happens over here? What happens? As the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, they act in the same direction. Because of it, the total pull increases. Okay, the total pull increases, and hence the tide on these days is much higher than the average high tide. Okay, so the tide which is occurring, okay, it is going to be higher than the average high tide. So this is known as spring tide, children. Okay, so I'll again repeat, on new moon and full moon days, the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, they act in the same direction, and because of this, the total pull increases. So the tide on these days is going to be much higher than the average high tide. So this is known as what? This is known as spring tide. Okay, so as the bulge at the high tide is greater, the water at low tide recedes much more. Bulge is what? It is an unusual temporary increase in number. Okay, it is going to increase in number or size. Okay, so here you can see what? Here the bulge at high tide is greater, the water at low tide resides much more. Okay, it will reside much more. The water level during the spring tide is higher than the average high tides and lower than the average low tide. Okay, see children here, the range of the level of high tide. See, it is much higher than the average high tide. See, okay, so this is called as the spring tide. Now moving ahead, we are going to study another type, that is neap tide. Okay, we are going to study neap tide. While revolving around the earth, the moon makes a right angle with respect to the earth and the sun twice a month. Okay children, so now just recall what we have learned in second chapter. Okay, see children, we know moon, okay, here moon revolves around the earth. So here what is happening? It is making right angle. Okay, see here, a right angle is formed. So now what happens here is, see children, While revolving around the earth, the moon makes a right angle with respect to the earth and the sun twice a month. Okay, so this position occurs on the first and the third quarter of each month. Okay, this occurs when during the first and the third quarter of each month. So on both of these days, what happens? The forces of both the sun and the moon, they operate at right angles on the earth. See, children, okay, here in this picture you can see that the forces, the force of sun and the moon, they are operating at right angle. They are operating at right angle. Okay, so now see here. So what is going to happen? Here, as we know, moon is nearest to the earth than the sun. So here what is happening? This region is experiencing high tide, and opposite of it is going to experience the high tide, whereas this region is experiencing low tide. Okay, children. So now see here, on both these days, the forces of both the sun and moon, they operate at right angles on the earth. At the places where the sun causes high tide, the gravitational pull of the moon, which is at right angle, also acts on the sea water. Okay, like I told you, okay, it can be seen in the picture. Now, due to such conditions, what happens? The water level rise is less than the usual at the time of high tide. So because of this condition, what happens, children? The water level rise is less than usual at the time of high tide. Now, fall in water level is less than usual at the time of low tide also, children. Okay, so this is because, why this occurs? Because the attraction of the sun and the moon, they are not complementary, but they are forming right angles to each other. Okay, see here what was happening in case of spring tide. Here we can see that the sun and moon, okay, their pull was what? Okay, they were acting in the same direction. So because of that, there was increase in the total pull. But where here what is happening, as they are forming right angles to each other, because of that, what is happening here, we can see the the level of water rise is less than usual at the time of high tide, and similarly fall in water level is less than usual at the time of low tide. So such tides are called as neap tide, children. Okay, they are called as what? Neap tides. Neap tides are a little lower than the average high tides and a little higher than the average low tides. So see here, you can see the range, the level of high tide. See, it is less. Okay, children, it is less. It is much less. So it will be neap tides are what? They are little lower than the average high tides, okay, and they are little higher than the average low tides. Okay, so now moving ahead, we are going to study the effects of tides. So now let us study effects of high tides, effects of tides, children. What will be the effects of high and low tides? We are going to study in detail. So with the high tide, what happens with the high tide? Fish move into the creeks and this helps fishing activity. Okay, children. So what happens with the high tide? Fish move into the creeks and this helps fishing activity. So now what are creeks, children? What is a creek? It is a narrow piece of water where the sea flows. Okay, it is the narrow piece of water where the sea flows into the land. Okay, children, and we may even call it a small river. So what happens because of it? The fish moves into the creeks and this helps fishing activity. The tides clear the waste and hence the coast becomes clean. Okay, even the tides, they actually clear the waste, and because of this the coast becomes clean. Ports do not get filled with sediments. Next one is what? The ports do not get filled with the sediments. Now sediments are what, children? They are the thick substances that forms at the bottom of water or ocean. Okay, they form at the bottom of any liquid substance. Okay, so these ports do not get filled with sediments. This such thick substances, they are not forming, okay, at the bottom of they are not forming in the ports. Ships can move up to the ports during the high tide. What happens during the high tide? Ships can move up to the ports during the high tide. During the high tide, the sea water can be stored in salt pans from which salt can be obtained. So see, children, here we can obtain salt from the salt pans. Okay. The tidal force can be used to generate electricity. See, children, this tidal force. See, here we have studied in 6th standard in science about, we have studied forces and types of forces. In that chapter, we have studied about tidal force. So this tidal force, it can be used to generate electricity. Next one is a lack of an understanding of the timings of high and low tides may even cause accident to swimmers which are entering the sea, children. Okay, so see what happens. Sometimes the people are unaware. Okay, they are unaware of the timings of high and low tides, children. So because of that, what happens? The people who are unaware of the timings of high and low tides, this can actually, and when they go for swimming in the sea, when they enter for swimming, okay, what happens? Accidents occurs because of that. Okay, next one is the tides help in maintaining the mangroves and the coastal biodiversity. Now children, what are mangroves? They are what? They are a tropical trees that grows in wet ground at the edge of a river. Okay, they are what? I'll again repeat. They are mangroves are what? They are the tropical trees that grows in wet ground at the edge of the river. So see, children, these tides, they help in maintaining the mangroves, and they also, and the coastal biodiversity, they helps in preserving the coastal biodiversity. Okay, so now living world, biodiversity, right? Biodiversity, bio means living and diversity means variety of living organisms. Okay, so now moving ahead, we are going to study about the timings of the tides. Okay, timings of the tides change daily. Okay, yes, children, as we have studied, timings of the timing of the tides changes. Okay, so how it changes daily, we are going to study in detail. The tides are continuously occurring phenomena. Okay, children, this situation occurs continuously. It's rare. Okay, it's okay, it is continuously occurring situation. What happens here is, after reaching the maximum water level during the high tide, see children, when the maximum water level is reached, okay, after reaching the maximum water level during the high tide, the low tide sets in. So after the high tide, what happens? After the high tide reaches its maximum level, the low tide sets in. Okay, the low tide, what? The low tide actually sets in. Okay, now here what happens? Similarly, after reaching the lowest water level during the low tide, okay, after reaching the lowest water level during the low tide, what happens? The high tide sets in. So again, after low tide, after reaching the lowest level of water during the low tide, the high tide sets in. So this is how after high tide, low tide occurs, and again after low tide, high tide occurs. Okay, children, so there is high tide and low tide twice a day generally. How many times? There is what? There is high tide and low tide occurs twice a day generally. Okay, in 24 hours, it is going to occur twice. Do not forget this, children. The time difference between two high tides is of what? 12 hours and 25 minutes. Okay, children, the time difference between two high tides is of 12 hours and 25 minutes. Okay, so every after 12 hours and 25 minutes, we are going to observe the changes. Okay, so now see, here in this picture, children, as we know, moon is revolving around the earth. Okay, so here these are the positions of the moons, children. These are the point M1, M2, M3. These are the different positions of the moons. Okay, and this is so here because of the gravitational pull, okay, because of the moon, here this region is going to experience high tide. Okay, this point P is going to experience high tide, whereas what is happening here, the point F is also going, as it is lying opposite to the point P, this region is going to experience what? High tide, children. Okay, and now same when the moon reaches at the point M3, okay, here point P1 is going to experience what? High tide, and point F1 lies opposite to it. It is going to experience high tide, children. Okay, so now what is happening here? So this is how, as we know, moon revolves around the earth. Okay, see here. So when the moon, so when it is moving, so different regions are going to experience high and low tide. Okay, so now see, moving ahead, children. Waves. Now what are waves, children? We are going to study in detail. Okay, so waves are what? Yes, because of the force of the wind. Okay, children, because of the force of the wind, water appears to be moving. Yes, we have seen this, right? So, because of the force of the wind, water appears to be moving. And we know how is wind occur? How does wind occurs? Wind occurs. It is what? When the moving air, it moves from high region of higher air pressure to the region of lower air pressure. Okay, so this moving air is called as wind. So because of the force of the wind, water appears to be moving. So the sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface. What are ripples, children? Ripples are what? A very small wave, okay, it is a very small wave or movement on the surface of water. So they are called as ripples. So the sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface, small waves or the movement on the surface of water. So these are called as what? Waves. Okay, what are waves? The sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface. These are called as waves. The sea water moves up and down or slightly forward and backward during the due to the waves. You must have observed, children, when you have visited any coastal area. Okay, when you have visited any region, okay, in any coastal site, you must have seen that the movement of the sea water, it is either up and down or it is slightly forward and backward due to the waves. The waves bring the energy contained in them to the coast. Okay, what is happening, children? The waves bring the energy contained in them. Okay, the waves which are having energy, they bring the energy contained in them towards the coast. Okay, they break in the shallow waters near the coast. Now what is shallow, children? It is not deep. Okay, not deep. Shallow means it is not that deep. So they break in the shallow waters near the coast. So large or small waves are formed continuously at the surface of the sea. You must have experienced this, children. So this generation of waves is what? It is a natural and regularly occurring phenomena too. Okay, it is a situation which is occurring what? Naturally and regularly. Okay, it is occurring naturally and regularly. We can observe this. Okay. So see, in this picture, you can observe the waves, children. These are the waves. Okay, in this picture, it is clearly seen. Yes. Now moving ahead, we are going to study the structure of waves. Yes, even these waves are these waves have structure, children. So how it is formed, we are going to see. The sea water gets pushed up and down because of the wind, right, children? We have studied this. The sea water gets pushed up and down because of the wind. So the raised up portion of the wave is called as the crest, and the depressed one is called as trough. See here, children. Here you can see the raised up portion. Yes, this is called as the crest, and the depressed one is called as the trough. Okay, children. So now here, if a strong wind is blowing in one direction, large waves are generated. Okay, children. So this is how large waves are generated when a strong wind is blowing. Okay, such waves will be generating. Okay. So the vertical distance between a crest and the following trough is called the amplitude of the wave. Okay, children. What is amplitude of the wave? The vertical distance between a crest and the following trough. See here. See, amplitude of the wave. Vertical. It is forming vertical. See. Between the crest and the following trough. Okay. See here. Now, the vertical distance between a crest and the following trough is called the amplitude of the wave. Whereas the distance between two successive crests, okay, two successive crests or troughs is called a wavelength. Now, what is wavelength? Children, see, this is the wavelength. Two successive, the distance between two successive crest and troughs. See here. These are the two successive crests. This is called as the distance between them is called as the wavelength, and the distance between the two successive troughs, see here, is called as its wavelength of the troughs. See, okay, children. So we have learned two other terms. That is, we have learned about amplitude of wave and the wavelength. So the wavelength and its amplitude and the velocity. Velocity is what? Speed. Okay, speed in a particular direction. It depends on the velocity of the wind. So they are directly dependent. The wavelength, amplitude, and velocity, they are dependent on the velocity of the wind. Okay, children. So now moving ahead, we are going to study about the velocity of waves. Okay, so now what are velocity of waves, children? So see, when we stand at the coast, okay, children, when we stand at the coast, we feel the waves are coming towards the coast. Okay, yes or no? Have you experienced this? Whenever you are standing at the coast, you must have observed that the waves are coming towards you. Okay, if a floating object is thrown at a distance, so if you throw a floating object, okay, but we are not supposed to, see, children, this is just we are assuming over here, but we are not supposed to throw anything in the ocean or in water. We are not supposed to make it dirty. Okay, this is just an assumption. So if a floating object is thrown at a distance in the sea, okay, we find the object moving up and down at the same time. Okay, you must have observed it. Okay, so it does not come to the coast. It does not come to the coast, but what happens? It stays over. It stays at certain place and it moves up and down. Okay. It means that the water forming the wave also does not come to the coast. Okay, children, the water which is forming the wave, okay, where the wave is getting generated, also does not come to the coast. That water does not come to the coast. So always remember, children, the water in the wave does not move. Here we are observing what? Here we feel that water is moving, but water is not moving, children. What is moving is the energy. Okay, children, energy of the wave. Okay, always remember that water is not moving. What is moving in that? Here the energy is moving. Okay, now moving ahead. Last topic of our chapter, that is tsunamis. Okay, children, you must have heard this. Okay, there was chapter in 6th standard. We have learned about disaster management. We have learned different natural calamities. Okay, so here natural calamities and man-made calamities. Okay, we have studied that in detail. So now we are going to study tsunamis and how it is related to it. Okay, so now children, here the main the main reason of wave generation is wind. Okay, children, the main reason of wave generation is what? How wave is generated? It is generated because of wind. But at times, okay, but at times due to earthquakes or volcanic eruptions, okay, earthquakes or what? They are the sudden vibrations which are occurring in the earth's crust, okay, and volcanic eruptions. We have seen that magma and lava comes out, okay, out of it. So occurring due to the earthquakes or volcanic eruptions occurring below the floor of the sea, waves get generated. Okay, what happens? See, we know very well waves are what? They are generated. Main reason is wave. Main reason of generation of wave is wind, but also because of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions which are occurring below the floor of the sea, waves get generated. Okay, waves assume great height in the shallow waters near the coast. Okay, children, what happens here? Waves, such waves assume a great height in the shallow waters, water where it is not deep. Okay, yes. So now these waves are very destructive. These waves are what? They are very destructive. Okay, they cause huge damage and huge loss of property and life. Okay, children, these waves are called as tsunamis. What are they called as? Tsunamis. So in 2004, tsunami waves were generated because of the earthquake that took place near Sumatra island of Indonesia. Okay, in 2004, tsunamis waves were generated because of the earthquake. Okay, children, that took place near the Sumatra island of Indonesia. Okay, yes, they devastated the east coast of India as well as of Sri Lanka. Okay, devastated means what? They destroyed the east coast and of India as well as of Sri Lanka. The waves cause erosion along the headlands and create beaches in the protected location in the waves. What happens, children? The wave cause erosion. Okay, erosion along the headlands and create beaches. Okay, and create beaches in the protected locations in the base. Okay, children, so this was, see here in this picture, you can see here in this picture, you can see the tsunami was occurred in this region and how it has destroyed that region completely. Okay, so see here, children, here our chapter lesson number 3 is over. Lesson number 3, tides, is completed.